So here is the quiet truth no one will tell you. The goal was never to become normal. The goal was to become whole. Normal people break apart trying to fit in. You're trying to hold yourself together by being real. And if you walk away remembering only one thing, remember this. The very thing that makes you feel like an outsider is the exact thing that will one day make you unbreakable. You are about to hear 6 things that most people will never understand. 6 behaviors that, if you do them, will make you feel strange, lonely, and sometimes wrong. And that feeling is not a warning sign. It is a welcome sign. It means you are no longer asleep. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time you sat completely alone? No phone, no music, no podcast, no background noise, just you and your own thoughts. Not 5 minutes ago, not yesterday. I mean truly alone, with nothing to hide behind. If that idea makes your chest tighten, you are already on the right track. Because most people will do anything to escape their own mind. They will clean the kitchen at midnight. They will scroll for 2 hours. They will start an argument just to feel something other than silence. But a very small number of people like you perhaps, learn to stay. And that single ability changes everything about your life. Here is the shift you are about to experience. Right now you might sometimes think, why am I so different? Why can't I just be like everyone else? Why does small talk exhaust me? Why do I question things that others accept without blinking? By the end of this video, you will stop asking, what is wrong with me? And start asking, what is trying to emerge through me? That is the transformation. Most people live their entire lives trying to squeeze into a shape that was never theirs. You are not here to fit. You are here to become. Let me show you how. Take a breath. We will go slowly. Let me give you a research finding that will stick with you. In 2014, psychologists at the University of Virginia ran a famous study. They asked people to sit alone in a room for 15 minutes. No phone, no book, no task, just silence. And here is what happened. 67% of men and 25% of women found it so unpleasant that they chose to give themselves mild electric shocks instead. Think about that. They preferred physical pain over being alone with their own thoughts. That is what normal looks like today. Constant noise, constant distraction, constant escape. Now imagine a different scene. You are driving home from work. The engine hums. The road is quiet. Normal people turn on the radio, a podcast, or immediately call someone. But you turn everything off. At first it feels strange. Your mind starts chattering. Did I send that email? Why did she say that yesterday? What if I fail at that thing? Old memories float up. Worries circle like birds. But then, after a few minutes, something shifts. The chatter begins to settle. You notice your breathing. You notice the light through the window. And suddenly, you are not running anymore. You are just sitting with yourself. And in that silence, you start seeing who you actually are. Not who the world told you to be. Not who your parents expected you to be. Not who your social media profile pretends you are. Just you. Why does this matter to you right now? Because in silence, you stop reacting and start responding. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, wrote that loneliness does not come from having no people around. It comes from being unable to share the things that matter to you. But here is the hidden truth. You cannot share what you have never met. The silence is where you meet yourself. So the person who seeks silence is not broken. They are not antisocial. They are not weird. They are just no longer willing to lie to themselves. And that is the beginning of integrity. Most people treat their beliefs like a brick wall. I am right. You are wrong. End of story. But you treat your beliefs like a garden. You water some. You pull out weeds. You let certain plants die because they no longer belong. Friedrich Nietzsche, who was not always easy to read but who understood human nature deeply, wrote this: "The certain ones are the ones who are asleep. The moment you think you have figured everything out, you stop growing, and a person who stops growing has already begun to die, even if their heart is still beating." Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you believe that success means a high salary, a big house, and a prestigious title. You have believed this since you were a child because your parents believed it, your teachers praised it, and every advertisement screams it. Now here is what you do that normal people do not. You pause, you sit down with a notebook, and you ask yourself 4 honest questions. 1. Where did I actually learn this belief? 2. Does it still serve me, or am I just repeating it? 3. What would happen if I let this belief go? 4. What if the opposite is also true, that success could mean peace, freedom, or deep connection? You do not have to change the belief. You just have to question it. You do this with politics. You do this with relationships. You do this with your own identity. It is not comfortable. It feels like standing on shifting ground. But that ground is actually more solid than concrete, because concrete cracks. Honest ground holds you. Why does this matter to you right now? Because the world is changing faster than any time in history. Jobs disappear. Truths flip. What was acceptable 10 years ago is now questioned. The person who cannot question themselves will eventually be broken by someone else. By a boss, by a trend, by a crisis. You are not confused. You are not wishy-washy. You are just not attached to being right. You are attached to being real. And research in cognitive psychology shows that people who practice intellectual humility make better decisions, learn faster, and recover from failure more easily. You are not weak. You are flexible, and flexible things do not break. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote something that changed my life. He said, "How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks." Normal people exhaust themselves trying to be liked. They say yes when they mean no. They attend events they hate. They laugh at jokes that are not funny. They slowly disappear, one small betrayal at a time. You have learned something different. You have learned that pleasing everyone means betraying yourself. And you have decided that one betrayal is enough. Here is a scene you know well. A friend invites you to a party on Saturday night. You have worked all week. You are tired. Your body wants rest. Your mind wants silence. Normal you, the old you, would say yes immediately. Then spend the next 3 days feeling resentful. Then go to the party with a fake smile. Then come home exhausted and angry at yourself. But now you do something different. You take a breath. You say, "I love you, and I am not coming. I need rest." Your friend's face falls. They say, "Oh, okay." There is a silence. You feel a flash of guilt in your stomach. Your old habit screams, "Fix it, say yes, make them happy." But you stay still. You let the discomfort sit. And then something amazing happens. The guilt passes. Within 5 minutes, you are free. Your friend will be fine. They will find someone else to go with. And you just bought yourself a whole evening of peace. Research on the disease to please shows that people who cannot say no have higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even autoimmune problems. Why? Because suppressing your true feelings creates chronic stress. Every time you disappoint someone for the right reason, you are not being mean. You are being honest. And honest people are not cruel. They are clear. There is a difference. You are not responsible for managing other people's emotions. You are responsible for managing your own. That is not selfish. That is adult. Modern psychology calls this tolerance for ambiguity. Most people need closure. They need the argument won. They need the email perfectly worded. They need the plan completely certain. You have learned something that took me decades to understand. Some things do not need fixing. Some things are not broken. They are just imperfect. And imperfection is not an emergency. Let me paint a small picture. You are making breakfast. Your partner forgot to take out the trash again. The milk carton is left open. There is a crumb on the counter. Normal people feel irritation rising. They might say something sharp. They might sigh loudly. They might carry that irritation into the next hour, poisoning the morning. But you notice the irritation. You feel it. And then you ask yourself one question. Will this matter in 1 hour, in 1 day, in 1 year? The answer is almost always no. So you breathe. You let the crumb be there. You close the milk. You take out the trash yourself, not with resentment, but with neutrality. You have not given up. You have not become a doormat. You have simply decided that your peace is worth more than being right about a milk carton. Think of your attention as a bank account. Every small irritation is a withdrawal. Every little thing you react to costs you energy. The person who reacts to everything, who fights every battle, corrects every mistake, complains about every inconvenience, goes bankrupt by 10 a.m. You are not lazy. You are not passive. You are selective. And selective attention is a superpower. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent, choosing which impressions to agree with. You are not suppressing your feelings. You are prioritizing them. That is wisdom, not weakness. There is a well-known psychological fact. Being right activates the same reward pathways in your brain as cocaine or winning money. It feels good. Your brain releases dopamine. You feel smart, powerful, and validated. But here is the catch. Winning an argument often loses you something more valuable. It loses you a relationship. It loses you peace. It loses you the other person's trust. Imagine you are at dinner with family. Someone says something factually wrong. Maybe it is about politics. Maybe it is about history. Maybe it is about something you have studied for years. You know the correct information. You have the evidence in your head. Normal people feel an intense urge to correct. They jump in. They explain. They prove the other person wrong. And what happens? The other person gets defensive. The mood shifts. Dinner becomes tense. Everyone feels worse, but you do something different. You pause. You ask yourself 3 quiet questions. 1. Does this need to be said? 2. Does this need to be said by me? 3. Does this need to be said right now? And if the answer to any of those is no, you choose silence. Not because you are afraid, not because you are wrong, but because you value the relationship more than the victory. Because you know that being happy is better than being right. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who was born a slave and became one of the greatest teachers in history, said this: "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." You do not need to prove you are smart. The smartest people in any room are often the quietest. They do not need to win. They already know what they know. Walking away from an argument is not losing. It is choosing a different game. And in that game, peace is the prize. Let me tell you what most people do. When pain comes, sadness, fear, shame, grief, they run. They open social media. They pour a drink. They turn on Netflix. They eat something sweet. They start a fight. They work 12 hours straight. Anything to avoid the feeling. Research on emotional regulation shows something fascinating. Avoiding a feeling makes it stronger. The more you push it away, the louder it knocks. But feeling it fully, sitting with it, naming it, breathing into it, makes it pass faster. Not because you fixed it, because you stopped feeding it with resistance. Let us say you wake up on a Tuesday morning. There is no obvious reason. but you feel heavy. Sadness is sitting on your chest like a stone. Normal response: pick up the phone immediately, check messages, scroll, distract. Your response is different. You lie still. You put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. You close your eyes, and you say quietly, out loud if you are alone, or silently if you are not. You say, "Hello, sadness. I see you. I know you are here. You are allowed to stay for a while." That feels strange at first, but then something happens. The sadness does not disappear, but it stops controlling you. It becomes a visitor instead of an invader. Within a few minutes, the intensity drops. You are still sad, but you are not scared of being sad, and that changes everything. Carl Jung said something unforgettable. He said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." You are not depressed. You are not broken. You are honest. And honest people heal faster because they do not waste energy hiding. They use that energy to understand, to integrate, to grow. The person who feels their pain is not weak. They are the bravest person in the room. Because most people will run their whole lives. You are learning to stay. Let me pause here for just a moment. I know this can feel like a lot. You might be thinking, this sounds exhausting. Being this aware all the time, questioning myself, feeling my feelings, disappointing people, it sounds hard. And you are right. It is hard at first. But here is what I have learned. Pretending to be normal is actually harder. It is harder to smile when you are sad. It is harder to agree when you disagree. It is harder to stay in rooms that drain you. That is the secret no one tells you. Being fake is exhausting. Being real saves energy. You have already felt that, haven't you? That quiet relief when you stop performing, when you stop trying to be the person everyone expects. That relief is your compass. Follow it. So here is the deeper perspective. I promised you a shift, and here it is. All 6 of these things, welcoming silence, questioning beliefs, disappointing people, letting small things be wrong, walking away from arguments, feeling pain fully, they share one single root. You have stopped asking what is normal and started asking what is true. Most people live their entire lives inside a cage. The bars are made of other people's expectations, their parents' voices, their culture's rules, their social media's comparisons, and they do not even know they are in a cage because everyone else is in the same cage. But you have begun to notice that the door was never locked. You are not normal because you have started to walk toward that door. And that is not a flaw, that is not a disorder. That is the beginning of a real, honest, whole human life. You are not here to fit into a shape that was stamped out by a machine. You are here to become the shape only you can become. And that process is strange. It is lonely sometimes. It is uncomfortable, but it is yours. If this video stirred something in you, that quiet voice that said, "I knew this already, I just forgot," then do not let it disappear. Do not close this tab and go back to scrolling. That voice is you. Subscribe, not because I asked you to. Subscribe because the next video will help you answer the question that comes after this one. The question everyone feels but rarely says out loud. How do I stay like this when everyone around me wants me to go back to being normal? That is a deeper pain point. The fear of being alone in your truth. The pressure to relapse into pretending. We will solve that together. We will talk about how to protect your inner world without building walls. How to stay soft and strong at the same time. How to be strange without being cruel. Until then, stay strange. Stay whole. Stay uncomfortable in the best way. You are doing better than you know. Much better.